Fall has brought forward a slew of great games, and in this video we're gonna go over the top 10 games of Fall 2015. Keep in mind that the season of Fall began on September 21st, so any games that were released before then will not be on this list. Sorry Metal Gear Solid 5. With that being said, let's get right into this. Number 10 is Just Cause 3. Just Cause 3 won't be the type of game that you're gonna remember 10 years from now as one of your favorite games of all time. However, Avalanche has created one of the most enjoyable sandbox experiences inside Just Cause 3. The story won't grip you much and you won't really care about the characters. Just Cause 3 is all about the gameplay. And that gameplay is an absolute blast. Flying from pillar to pillar with a wingsuit, parachuting off and then grappling hook onto a car is some of the most fun I've had in gaming all year. And of course, Just Cause 3's gameplay thrives on creating chaos. From gigantic explosions, shooting waves of enemies, just causing absolute mayhem. It's a type of game where nothing really has a lot of purpose, but you end up not really caring because it's so much damn fun. Do keep in mind that on consoles there are some horrendous technical issues from frame rate to stuttering. On PC, it's much better and by far the optimal experience. Number 9, Soma. Horror games have really lost their edge over the last few years. Frictional are known for their work on Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and they released Soma back in September. Soma is different from your typical horror game. It doesn't focus on the traditional way of scaring people with jump scares and whatnot. Instead, Soma is a very psychological game. The horror of the game sticks with you for a while. It's not just a scary moment here and there. If you've lost love for your horror games over the years, give Soma a look.
Warning. Reactor collapse imminent. Proceed.
It tries to do something different with the genre and represents what the evolution of horror gaming could be. Number 8, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. Divinity Original Sin was initially released on PC back in 2014. It quickly gained fame for its ability to be a quality classical RPG while at the same time having a modern feel. Console gamers got the game in the form of the Enhanced Edition back in October, which refines the game even more, including an expanded storyline. The game is a bit different from your typical console RPG. It doesn't really hold your hand compared to a lot of games these days.
I can electrify it, so I'm going to cast some electricity on the water.
There is a lot of content in the game and a lot to get invested into. There is also quite a bit of replay value, so as long as you can get past the somewhat dated visuals and the fact that it does require a level of effort from the player, there's a very in-depth RPG in Divinity Original Sin. Number 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now I know at this point the Call of Duty name has a pretty bad stigma attached to it. Many people feel it's the same game every year, it's unbalanced, and you know where I'm going with this. However, with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Treyarch crafted one of the best COD games in a very, very long time. The campaign is a bit disappointing considering Treyarch typically does pretty good ones, but Black Ops 3's is nothing special, the story is bland and the voice acting is pretty terrible. Obviously, most people that play Call of Duty are in it for the multiplayer, and that's where Treyarch really gets it right. The competitive modes have a lot of depth and so many different options to customize the way you play. It's addictive, fun, and it never felt stale at all. And then you have the Zombies mode, easily the best that Treyarch has done so far. Zombies almost feels like its own game. It has its own unique ambiance to it, and as far as co-op fun goes, it's some of the best all year. At the end of the day, if you never liked a Call of Duty game, this probably won't completely win you over.
See something? We all see it. Even the cover.
But the multiplayer is some of the most fun COD gameplay in such a long time. Number 6, Halo 5 Guardians. Another first-person shooter, Halo 5 Guardians had a lot to live up to as the most marquee Xbox One exclusive thus far. It had a lot riding on its shoulder, and with that kind of pressure and hype, it's hard not to disappoint. Halo 5 does a lot of things right, but first let's talk about what it does wrong, and mainly that's the campaign. Halo for a first-person shooter series has had some of the best campaign experiences, but with Halo 5, it's just not really there. The story's pacing is all over the place and it felt mundane playing through it. Just like Black Ops 3, what Halo 5 Guardians gets right is the multiplayer. Running at 1080p and 60 FPS, Halo multiplayer has never looked and played better. The gameplay is fun and there's a lot of content to unlock and the game makes you want to play more and more. The game is also an evolving experience as 343 has been committed to releasing consistent updates refining the game, making it better and adding more content. For that, if you have an Xbox One, Halo 5 Guardians is a must. Number 5, Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection. Yes, the Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection consists of games that have been released years ago, but that doesn't change the fact that these games are some of the best of all time. And now to be able to play the games at 1080p and 60 FPS, it looks gorgeous and best of all, it's Uncharted. While Uncharted Drake's Fortune hasn't aged all that well, it's still a game that's fun to go back and play. The real stars of this collection are Uncharted 2 and 3. Those are still two of the best games in the last 10 years. Those games just nail everything in being a quality action-adventure game, a gripping story with excellent pacing, the great third-person shooting gameplay, and clever puzzles that all integrated seamlessly to create one of the best single-player adventures ever. And keep in mind that single player is all you will be getting, as the collection does not include Uncharted 2 or 3's multiplayer component. Nonetheless, the single player that is represented is excellent, and if you haven't played any of the Uncharted games, the Nathan Drake collection is an absolute must-buy. Number 4. Starcraft II: Legacy of the Void. Legacy of the Void serves as the conclusion to the Starcraft II trilogy, and what a conclusion it was. The single player campaign is very good, the missions have a lot of variety, and as far as the storytelling goes, it's top notch. If you're looking to get invested into the Starcraft II single player, make sure you play the trilogy in order so you understand the story. As good as the single player and the story are, what's going to keep gamers coming back is the multiplayer, and if you've played Starcraft II multiplayer, this is more of the same,
With the ability to teleport anywhere on the map without vision,
but refined with a few new inclusions that make it more of a complete experience. This is the culmination of Blizzard's work in RTS games, and they knocked it out of the park. Whether it's a quality single player experience or a deep multiplayer one, it's all here in Legacy of the Void. Number 3. Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's no secret that the Wii U has been struggling. From an identity crisis to a lack of games, there's been a lot of problems with the console. Xenoblade Chronicles X may have been the exclusive the console was looking for. Is it too late? Probably. However, that does not detract from the magnificent game the guys over at Monolith Soft created. This is a gigantic game with great visuals given what the console can do. The gameplay is some of the best in a JRPG in a very long time, and while at times the story is a bit slow, that's only a small issue. It's not one of the typical Nintendo franchises, so it's nice to see something big budget on the Wii U. If you have the console, you owe it to yourself to play Xenoblade Chronicles X. Number 2. Fallout 4. As far as pure content goes, very few games match the sheer amount Fallout 4 has. The world of Commonwealth is absolutely massive, and just exploring it will take you hours upon hours. Then you have all the main quests to do, all of the side quests, creating settlements. There is so much content in Fallout 4 that it will make your head spin. All is not great, and Bethesda did not do a perfect job in creating this game. It has quite a bit of technical issues, especially if you play on a console. The voice acting of the main character was a nice addition, but it did limit the storytelling potential in the game. Those problems aside, if you want to get completely absorbed into a world and lose hundreds upon hundreds of hours, Fallout 4 is the game to play. Finally, number 1, Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's kind of amusing that Rise of the Tomb Raider was a game that got swept under the rug because of Fallout 4. It's a shame that it happened, because as pure quality goes, Rise of the Tomb Raider is as good of a game as any. If you even remotely enjoyed the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot, you will adore Rise of the Tomb Raider. It takes everything about the 2013 game and makes it better. The story is far better with a great antagonist, the gameplay is much more varied, and the game gives you a lot of options in tackling the objectives. The world is much bigger, and while it's not as big as a complete open world game, there's definite options for exploration in the game. Unfortunately, Rise of the Tomb Raider is only available for the Xbox One at the moment, so if you do have that console, buy this ASAP. Otherwise, Rise of the Tomb Raider will release in spring 2016 on PC and fall 2016 on PS4. Whatever platform you play the game on, you're definitely gonna enjoy it. So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 games of fall 2015. Let us know in the comment section down below. Do you agree with our list? Do you disagree? Do you think a game should be ranked higher? Do you think a game should be ranked lower? Let us know. As always, thank you for watching, have a great day, and goodbye.